2046. Remember that year. $5,000 on a credit card, paid back exactly the way your bank suggests, ends in 2046. And that's not a worst case. That's the bank's own estimate. Printed on the statement. 19 years. You'll be 6 phones from now. The couch this card paid for will be gone. The debt will still be here. Congress made the banks print this box. 2009. The machine behind it, they never had to show you. So let me show you. A $5,000 weight on a chain over a floor marked 0. The dial above it has one job. It points at the month of your final payment. Right now it points at 2046. Every payment you'll ever make on this card is one turn of that crank. Here comes the first one. $158.29. Watch the gears split it. $108 roll into the bank's wheel. 50 reach the weight. Bad luck? Count the teeth. 34 for the bank. 16 for you. The bank's share is the interest. $5,000 at 26% grows $3.56 of interest a day. Every day. Before you're awake. By the end of the month, there's your 108. Your share, the 50, is exactly 1% of what you owe. And that's the whole formula. The minimum payment is 1% of the balance, plus the interest. Remember the split because it doesn't improve. 68 cents of every dollar to the bank for the next 15 years. Month 2. You owe a little less, so the machine asks for a little less. The stroke comes up short, about $1.50 shorter than last month. That's the design. As the weight descends, the strokes shrink with it. Each ask feels manageable. None of them is enough. Watch 5 years of this. 60 turns of the crank, more than $7,000 fed into the machine, and the weight has dropped less than a third of that. You're still 15 years from the floor. Halfway, $2,500 arrives just before year 6. The second half takes 14 more, because the closer the weight gets to the floor, the shorter every stroke becomes. The weight never stops moving, it just stops getting anywhere. Now, almost nobody serves the whole 19 years. Life interrupts, a tax refund, or one day you just snap and refinance the whole thing. Fine, but notice what saved you. It was never the minimum. The schedule itself, the one you signed for, runs to 2046. So who chose 19 years? You won't find a gear in here stamped 19. Nobody set that dial. To find the designer, you have to look at the machines that came before this one. Before 2003, a typical minimum was simpler. 2% of the balance. Flat. Sounds harmless, until you remember what the balance is doing. At a rate like ours, it grows about 2.2% a month, and the old crank only removed 2. Run that machine and watch the weight rise. You could make every payment they asked for, on time, for years, and owe more at the end of every one of them. That's what their own regulator finally killed in 2003. The order? Minimums have to actually retire the debt. So the banks cut a new gear. 1% of the balance plus all of the interest. It descends. Barely. That's the machine you're standing in. The warning box came 6 years later, and not from the banks. Congress riveted it on. The box is just the label they were forced to print, on a product that was working as designed. And here's the strangest part. Spin the rate dial. 21.5%, the national average. 19.1 years. 29%, 20.3. The clock barely feels it. The rate decides the toll. $7,900 in interest, $9,700, $11,000. What it never decides is how long. Nobody chose 19 years. 1% shrinking takes about 19 years at almost any rate. The rate winds the bank's wheel. The 1% winds the clock. Now find the part of the machine that shrinks the stroke. There, a linkage, remeasuring 1% of the chain every single month. Jam it. One brass pin. The pin doesn't cost you anything today. Month 1, the pinned machine and the shrinking one ask for the same 158.29. Identical. All the pin refuses is the discount the machine would have offered you next month, and the smaller one after that. Race them. Same balance, same rate, same first crank. The shrinking machine, 19 years, 10 months, $9,700 in interest. The pinned machine, 4.5 years, $3,500. Look at that again. The shrinking, the part that feels like mercy, costs 15 extra years and $6,000 extra. And you proved you could afford the pinned payment. You paid it in month 1. The grey box on your statement goes one better. Second line, there's a payment printed there, about $200 a month, and next to it, 3 years. The bank already ran that math. For you, on every bill you've ever thrown away. And that's the real cost of the minimum, the 15 years you never had to serve. Same desk, same statement. It's morning now. The box is still there, doing its quiet math. 2 moves before you put it down. Find your box. It's on every statement you get, and the numbers in it are computed on your balance, your rate. Read it once, then pin your payment. Whatever minimum they ask for this month, make it your fixed payment. In the app, that's one setting. And never let it shrink. 2046 or 2030. Remember the year you pick.